they need it more than I do. So I used to be, fairly fanatical. Fanatical is probably too strong a word, but fairly focused would probably be better on holding people appropriately accountable if they took something of mine that didn't belong to them, especially money. I'd file a complaint. Like I had a few experiences, online with platforms where the freelancers just took the money and didn't do the work, which is kind of shocking. But and I'd contact the platform and say the person didn't do the work, and then the person would have to refund the money or whatever, or do the work. I think that's a good thing on the whole because people should be accountable. And if you don't value your money, they say that, like, if you want to have more money, keep track of your money, where you're spending it. Don't crumple it up in your pocket because that's show money that you don't respect it. Line it up. You don't have to be obsessive compulsive about it, but just, show your money a little bit of love. Actually people should be loved rather than money, but show your money a little bit of respect and you might get a little bit more. And I had a couple thoughts on this. I'm not as, focused on it. I still, am respectful of my money. So if someone takes something that doesn't belong to them, I will usually follow up. But I learned a couple of counterbalancing principles that have helped me so that this is not really an issue for me as much anymore. One is just to hire better people. Like, I think I was not diligent enough to study. Like, a couple times I hired people that had a couple bad feedbacks. I didn't realize it because I didn't take enough time to really study. So if you hire bad people, then you shouldn't expect, like Oprah, quoting somebody, I forget who said it originally, said, when people show you who they are, believe them. If people have bad feedback from other people, that's why eBay and other things have feedback systems. So you have to check it out a little bit, take your time. So it was kind of my fault for not doing my due diligence a little bit. I mean, it doesn't mean I should be taken advantage of, but I should have looked into that. Another thing I learned is from Tim Ferriss. I think it was Tim, possibly someone else, but I think Tim, who said that the way that you get your gains doesn't have to be from the same source of where you get your losses. Like he was talking about, I don't remember the exact thing, but something similar to what I said, where he lost money in one area, and rather than trying to get it back in that area, he did something else. I find it a lot the same thing, that it's, time is money. The amount of time, like I might have lost $50, but it might have taken me 4 hours to get it back because I had to go back and forth with customer service 5 times, and that 4 hours, that's, if I spend 4 hours to get back $50, then I'm telling myself that my time is only worth $12.50 an hour. Now, there's a countervailing principle, because if everybody just let people steal money from them, then the kind of world that we live in, and if I let $50 go, then the next person, they might take 100, and the next person after that 500 or 1,000. So it's good to catch it small. But it's a countervailing principle. I mean, do I want to spend 4 hours of my time for $50? Naval Ravikant, he had a famous quote. He said he doesn't return items when they're bad because it's not worth his time, unless it's maybe a super expensive item. He says he asks himself first, what is my time worth? And he came up with a large number. I don't remember, but maybe like $1,000 an hour or whatever it was. And he says, if anybody asks me to do something, or if I'm thinking of doing something, I ask myself first, is this going to pay me $1,000 an hour? And if it's not, I don't do it. And, I think that's actually a sense of high self-esteem. I mean, I think maybe had a little bit lower self-esteem. I mean, I didn't spend all my day clipping coupons to save 20 cents. But, I thought about this $10 is going to hurt me. This $20 is going to hurt me. I do think it's important to be very disciplined, because if you don't know where your money is going, then you're going to lose it. But at the same time, I think there's two ways to make money. You can spend less or lose less, or you can make more. And I think you have to focus on both. It's a balanced person, knows where their money is and tracks it, and, holds people accountable for how they're spending it. Because if you don't, things could go bad in a hurry. But you can't become overly concerned to the point where you're not also thinking about how to make more money, how to improve your skills, investing in learning, investing in reading. Because there's a famous saying that you can't cut your way to prosperity. You can't save and save and save and save and save and save and then you'll be rich, because there's not enough hours in the day. And there's not enough compound interest, especially in today's world. Unless you got in on Amazon when it was $1. But I don't know what it first came out at. But so do both. Hold people accountable, keep track of your money. keep track of your losses, but also, let it go at a certain point. I mean, if it's not worth your time, it's kind of a balancing act. Focus on it, but if it's just holding you back and it's not helping you, the other thing I learned is that I think I don't speak for God, obviously. I just have my own interpretation of what I've learned in my life. But one thing I've learned is that sometimes we can't be judge and jury of everybody. Like it is, if someone is brought into our life and does something bad to us, sometimes it is, appropriate to hold them appropriately accountable, like file a complaint or do whatever, to make sure that they don't just do it again to somebody else, worse. But at the same time, like little things, sometimes it's better just to let it go. I mean, if you focus on the little things and your mind gets trapped into like a little mentality, and then you think like you have to be judge and jury with everybody. I mean, God, sometimes will take care of it. Sometimes God wants you to take care of it, but sometimes he wants you to let it go and just let him take care of it.